What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys are having a good Friday so far, good end of the week, and a good weekend lined up. In today's video, we're going to go over a bit of Plarium news here that's going to be related to the events for the weekend. And we're going to have a quick chat about the remaining Titan events for this week. So let's jump right into it. All right, guys, first things first. So here is the news from Plarium. This Sunday, April 27th, we're planning to launch an Awakening Boost event, giving you 2x chance to summon 5 and 6-star perfect souls from mortal soulstones and 6-star perfect souls from immortal soulstones. So the small ones and the medium ones, no boost for the big guys here. As per usual, it's going to be a boost to the rank. So you can kind of see here for the small ones, you get 0.75 chance at 6-star and 1.5 chance percent chance at 5-star. So these will be doubled up, so 3% and 1.5% chance here, and then this will go up to 12%. Now the middle ones are, 12% can be decent, so you have a decent shot at getting, a 6-star something. But the odds of you getting, obviously an epic or a mythical is 21% combined, so it's not a sure thing. So you want to obviously get lucky on the legendary and mythical, and then you want it to be a 6-star here. But yeah, anyways, it's good in terms of we got the best rates possible to get something impactful. Obviously the big blessings are very, very good for your champions, but that's the hard part, right? Getting one of your wish list champions are obviously very difficult. And yeah, these events are just super high in G, so make sure you check your expectations, of course. What's interesting about this event is that it is a 4-day event and that it starts on Sunday. So if we quickly look at the Plarium Play calendar, right here, we do see the active events currently available in the Titan event. Now, the Titan event, I do have some comments here already. There are a couple surprises, but on the Plarium Play calendar, we do see the Deck of Fate starting on Sunday. Now, we can deduce that this Soulstone boosted event is probably going to land, together with the Deck of Fate event, since they both start on Sunday and since they both last 4 days. So we can probably assume that the Deck of Fate requirement, or one of them, will be Soulstone points, or at least the Soulstones will go for points towards the Deck of Fate. Now, that's not confirmed or anything like that, but obviously we can use our basic logic and reasoning skills, right? So we'll say that the Soulstones will be part of the Deck of Fate. We don't know what the secondary or third condition will be for the Deck of Fate. It could be training or dungeon, or both. It could be one of those two. It's unlikely to be shard related because we do have a summon rush happening on Friday, and there is some overlap between the Deck of Fate and the summon rush. Now, I will say that if there's no rush for you guys to pull for the summon rush, I would suggest to wait to the last day of the summon rush when the Deck of Fate opens to be 100% sure that there is no overlap. There's really no negative to holding your shards until Sunday and just waiting for the Deck of Fate to open, just to be 100% sure that there is no overlap. It's very unlikely that there will be overlap, but you never know. Also, what's interesting is that for the Deck of Fate, we have no idea what's going to be in the Deck of Fate. We don't know if it's gear related. It's the gear related Deck of Fate would be probably the least exciting, probably. A guaranteed champion would be, the most exciting, especially for people that are not interested in the Artor Titan event. However, the more I think about a guaranteed champion, the less likely it would happen. Let me explain. So basically, of the new champions that were recently released, we had a Void Legendary Corpse Flower here from the Sylvan Watchers. Very cool aesthetic. I play tested her a little bit. She does hit hard, but she does require a setup. She does have the Death Brand as well, Death Brand debuff. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough to set her up for things like arena and stuff, but for wave-based content, she did hit pretty hard for me. I don't really see her being offered as a guaranteed champion. However, Plarium did offer most recently the Orc Void Legendary Con as the, I believe it was a Deck of Fate as well. So he was offered as a guaranteed, basically Void Legendary for that Deck of Fate. So I wouldn't put it past them to give us opportunities to get the Void champions in these kind of guaranteed Deck of Fates, but basically a back-to-back would be, I would say, unlikely. So I don't expect Corpse Flower to be, a guaranteed champion. And the other guaranteed champion that is possible that, is from one of the new releases would be from the Lizardman, Karen the Harvester. So I did play test this guy as well. I don't think he's very good, at least from my playtesting, and I can't figure out exactly how to play him for maximum effectiveness. His kit just doesn't make sense. His AoE has his A3 has an AoE sleep, and then it immediately goes into an extra turn. But your extra turn is going to be, it could be okay to really bad. So let's say your A2 was for whatever reason locked out or on cooldown, you have to use your A1. Your A1 is an AoE. It would wake everyone up. So you would sleep everyone, get an extra turn, and then wake everyone up. Or you sleep everyone, and then you have to use your A2, which wakes up one enemy, but puts their skills on cooldown. So it's a very weird situation here, especially with this extra turn, especially with his hit. Maybe if this wasn't a on-hit ability. And his passive's like kind of cool because if they wake up without being damaged, then he comes back in and locks them out and then pushes back turn meter, which can be pretty cool, right? Can be pretty crippling CC. But to me, like Fabian is just like miles better than this guy. And, you know, obviously Fabian's a fusion and this guy is just like, you know, just a champion you pull. But I can't find any use for this guy at all currently. He's also magic affinity, so you can't even use his sleep ability. I don't know. You can't. Well, first of all, you can't use his sleep ability anyways for Sand Devil, but because he's magic, it's going to be tough to use him for level 25 anyways. But yeah, I just can't really see him being a hyped up Deck of Fate guarantee champion as well. Outside those two champions, I can't really see another guarantee, or at least there was no new releases. So it would be an older champion, so maybe less hype about that. But in any event, there are a couple things that were a bit interesting so far. So the Summon Rush was recently opened about 5 hours ago. Had a quick look, and this was a bit surprising here. So we got 30, 70 subs, 100, and then 250. So it's worth 250 Titan points. Now, if you guys were going for the full Titan event, so you need 1,500 points, there's only a possible 1,750 total points in the entire Titan event. If you skip this Summon Rush, you basically have to complete every single event, you know, for the next, you know, week and a half to get the 5-star soul point threshold. So 250 in the Summon Rush is a little bit surprising to me. I was expecting about 200. They also put more point emphasis on the Fire Knight turn attack tournament. So they put 100 points here, which again is, you know, surprising because 100 is one of the highest I've seen. I think it is the highest for one of these specific conditional tournaments for the Titan events. So that means we can probably assume that the Ice Golem tournament will be specific conditions with a higher Titan point allocated to it. And then we noticed that the Classic Arena, they actually removed from the standard 30 points and they reduced it down to 20 points. Again, a bit of a surprise as well, since they haven't really touched Classic Arena in ever. So finally, for the gear enhancement event, they put a total of 60 plus 20, so 80 points in here as well. I've seen this go anywhere up to 100 points. So to me, it feels like they're taking small amounts of points from some of the easier events and putting them into the harder events. So they took a little bit from the gear enhancement, the arena, and then they put it into the faction specific Fire Knight tournament, and they put it into the Summon Rush. All right, so with that being said, there is a little bit of silver lining here. So we do know the values for the Titan points already allocated for every single event for the first week. For the Deck of Fate, it is known that it is the last event of this week, and we know that the total points for this week is 950. And so the remaining unallocated points is 100 points. So we know that the Deck of Fate will only have 100 Titan points in there. So the silver lining is this: even though the Deck of Fate will be Soulstone related, and we don't know if there's going to be a second or third condition for the Deck of Fate, whether it be dungeon diving, training, or something else, we know there's only going to be 100 Titan points. Now, this could be a good candidate for an event to skip if you are still interested in going for the 1,500 total points for the Titan event to finish everything for Artor's 5-star soul. Again, the issue is we don't know exactly what is going to be in the Deck of Fate. It could be a guaranteed champion. It could be something really, really juicy. It could have some really juicy rewards in there. So I would strongly suggest we wait until the last day of the Summon Rush, Sunday. Wait until the Deck of Fate opens, see exactly what we're working with, and then decide which event you want to participate in. Since the Deck of Fate looks a little bit more skippable At this point, I would probably lean towards doing the Summon Rush. There's also a pretty good 3-day progressive chance event for the Summon Rush. Not saying that progressive chance really means much nowadays, but you never know. It's still a slightly higher chance of getting something decent. But either way, that progressive event won't change for the entire duration of the Summon Rush, so there's no real rush to pull on day one. Ultimately, I think for myself, thinking ahead a little bit for next week, I expect there to be at least one summoning event next week, probably for 250 shards. Now, something that hasn't happened in a long time is actually 2x primal shards, a 2x primal shard event. The last one we had was about 6 weeks ago, I think. And they usually happen every 2 months. So the timing kind of lines up, and it would be a situation where I basically would just pull my shards anyways. So for example, if there was a summon event next week and it involved 2x primal shards, my shards are going in, so I'm going to complete that event anyways. So to me, this current summon rush this week, it looks like it possibly could be a skip, especially if the deck of fate has some really nice rewards in there, particularly a guaranteed champion. But again, it's very important to wait until the last day just to have a look so you get all the info before making your decision. But I think personally, it looks like a summon rush skip for me and a deck of fate go ahead, and then prepare for a pull event next week. And it could be something really nice. Like I said, 2x primals next week, perhaps. I did have a quick look at the 1+1s recently. I don't think it's going to be a 1+1 ancient anytime soon. We had one maybe like 3 weeks ago. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Again, looking forward to next week. It could possibly be 1+1 sacred shards. We haven't had that since the first week of March, so the timing kind of lines up there as well. So it could be, like I said, 1+1 sacred shards or 2x primal shards next week. It probably is a juicy event for a shard opening event. So I think if you guys are trying to conserve your shards, maybe skip this summon rush currently and then wait until next week. But that means you're committed to doing the deck of fate. Again, this is only important if you're going all the way and trying to get the 1500 Artor split soul. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. But that'll be my game plan for myself. Lastly, guys, I'm going to leave you guys here with the progressive event that's going to be happening for the weekend during the summon rush. So like I said, we do have some pretty good champions up for grabs. The chances of getting them are boosted a little bit, but you're not going to, it's not a great chance to get them, but that's what's going to happen for the weekend. Now, just hopping into the summon rush for one more look here. Like I said, there's going to be 250 points here. It's actually kind of enticing because there is a medium stone here, and then we know that there's going to be a medium stone event coming. So that is a little bit enticing. 7 sacred shards worth of points for 250 Titan points. I think is semi-reasonable. And then we do get a book here at the 3,000 mark, which is a little bit uncommon. So the legendary book there is, again, a decent reward there. So yeah, to me the reward structure looks somewhat favorable, more favorable than usual. But like I said, it's something that I'm going to evaluate on the last day, on Sunday, when the deck opens. If the deck is really, really bad, then maybe I'll just skip it. However, it's unlikely because I will probably pull for the boosted chances for the Soulstones. But yeah, that's going to be my plan anyways. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, what you guys are planning to do. Are you guys even bothering going for Artor's 5-star soul? Are you guys bothering for the Titan event at all? I know people are not super hyped about this champion, but personally, I think he's pretty good. Obviously not like end game super strong, but for early game, for free champion, I think he's going to do a lot of work for a lot of people. But I totally understand people taking a break, especially trying to go for the 5-star split soul. It's it's obviously a bit of an endeavor. These are basically mini fusions on their own, so taking a bit of a break here is not a bad thing. But anywho, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great weekend if I don't catch you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.